Hello, and thank you for joining us in this video. Today, we're going to hear about a platform online called Mighty Networks, which is a system by which organizations can network among all of their branches, or in our case, all of our affiliates, something for BPW to consider. We have as our speaker, Sheerah Kim. Sheerah is born and raised in Switzerland and is a BPW member primarily there, where she also served recently a 2-year term as the young BPW representative in the club in Zurich. Sheerah is currently working in Singapore, so she's also become active with BPW in Singapore. So now she has 2 memberships. We welcome her, and we hope that you all enjoy this video. Sheerah, the floor is yours.
Hi guys, I'm here to talk about Mighty Networks. What is Mighty Networks? It's basically a new kind of connecting with your members. And why I'm talking about it here is about the fact that these are new ways to explore how to connect with all the members internationally, but also within the region, and actually exploring this option right now for Singapore, so the Singapore BPW Association. And one of the reasons why there is this exploration is because Singapore has several chapters within their country organization. So similar to other countries where you have various BPW clubs, it can be challenging to manage all members within one specific site. We have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have so many other social media channels, and of course we have a communications plan or strategy on how to facilitate our communication with the network. However, to really connect with all the clubs and all the chapters and all the local activities that you have, we stumbled upon Mighty Networks, and this is what I'm going to show you right now. So this is the front page of Mighty Networks as such. If you're interested, you can just go in and take a look at their tutorial, or even start for free with their homepage builder. I'm just quickly scrolling down. Basically, it's very easy to manage, you know, the overall almost like corporate identity. So as you know, BPW has the yellow and the black and the white. This can be managed fairly well. It's a unified look for all the BPW clubs, so you don't have to worry about formatting of all the home pages. It's just unified and streamlined. And basically, why Mighty Networks could be a good source of how to connect within network is not only to you know, build kind of this identity. Of course, with a Facebook page you can do that too. However, if you offer courses within BPW, if you offer different functions of connecting within your network. Of course, events calendar, all the social networks have that. However, Mighty Networks has features that can show you who has actually attended these events. So there are several features that might be just a little bit more elevated. So I'm going to dive into that. Before doing this, in terms of why this could be a valuable option is it's almost like an organizational website with like extensive subcategorizations. So it could come from, you know, international to regional to country to club. So all the levels of even a nonprofit organization could be displayed in a way and managed individually in those pockets. So it's very easy to administrate. It's way easier than, you know, building individual websites and hopefully to connect every single one of them. And then on the other side, you can also manage all of your members within that platform. What it also offers is, as I mentioned, trainings or courses sections in case, you know, something we explore now with more digital connectivity, more like virtual session workshops or something that previously BPW Academy would have offered. This can be done virtually, and it's just a one-stop shop for everything. So what I've done for you now is I've created a test page, and I just called it Business and Professional Women Digital. And I just took, the Singaporean homepage as a baseline, and it's very easy. It's just copy pasting the content and showing you how this is going to be displayed within Mighty Networks. As you can see, the layout is very similar to Facebook or any other channels that you are familiar with, for example, LinkedIn. What I've done with my own profile, it's here on the right hand side. Just move this quickly. Basically, I've linked my own profile from LinkedIn to Mighty Networks. So you don't need to create your own profile. If you already have a LinkedIn account, you can just connect your LinkedIn account to this profile. And I'm just going to quickly show you what we can do. In terms of the profile, I can just quickly go on edit. And what's really valuable is I can write things about myself and introduce myself, my professional background, my educational background. I can add personal links, how people can connect with me otherwise. So I can add in my LinkedIn link. I've got maybe a Facebook page or even my own business website. You can link that all in, and everyone that is in Mighty Network would be able to access that information. And what it also features is there is a functionality to insert also a video. So in case you want to show more of your personality through video and introduce yourself that way, that's feasible too. You can also select your time zone, which is relevant for all the events and courses that you might organize on here. And then you can choose also topics that are interested, where you're interested in. So basically, these are just the topics that I've set up. The more topics you have, the more challenging it can be to organize yourself, on a homepage itself. And this just gives you a very nice filter criteria of what you're interested in. So let me just quickly save this and go out. As you can see, the navigation is very fluid. It has always a pop-up screen that comes from the right, and you always have the full navigation for your availability on the left side, which is very easy. Right now, you can see it's just me online. The more members you are inputting here, of course, everyone you can see here, it's the same functionality as you would have on Facebook, for example, where you can see other people's online. I've created a certain structure here just to showcase you what it means. These are all editable, so I can choose to add more sections and more topics. I've chosen here, for example, the topic about us, and this could be just an entry page where BPW can introduce themselves. And of course, next to it, you can have much more sections, which can be standardized for each of the regions. So basically, you would have the same structure for all of the clubs, all the BPW, and they wouldn't have to, go to each of the page to really get to know you. They can just go into that one page and see everything else. So, for example, I've recreated a welcome page. As you can see, it's just opening on the right-hand side as almost like a pop-up, but it's very easy now. Navigation is very easy. And just a few things up front. There is actually a mobile app as well. So this is a very standardized message that can be included in all of the pages. And basically, there are some features that are really, really nice. You can input, and this is just from experience, when you go into edit mode, if you would be an administrator of this page, this is so easy to handle. So I actually inserted here 3 executive members of Singapore. Let's explore how it would be if I would add one more member. So I'll just go to my photos that I've here. I've got, for example, Claudia Putri, who is the young BPW representative of Singapore. I can just open this image and I can basically reshape very easily. It is so user-friendly to handle. I can choose the layout. I can adjust it to a size that I want. And what I can do in addition is I can add also a text or a video or a link, and it would be very, very easy to manage. I can also move here and say this should be on the right hand side. The overall navigation is very good, but also when I would, for example, copy paste from another site. So let me just quickly go to, and basically Claudia, or even just I would copy paste maybe one of those sections. Oh, what's happening? What it does, it's copy pasting. So from wherever you copying the content. So for example, you would decide to move the entire homepage of your local club to Mighty Networks. You can basically just copy paste an existing homepage text, and you can go back to Mighty Networks. Let me just quickly exit this and open a new one. Let me open an article. I can just copy paste the content of a homepage that I already have, and it would copy all the formatting and all the links. So I really don't have to do any editing. I can just add a title. I can say this is my introduction, and I can say here, I could add also a live video if I have one, or I can just embed a few more things, or maybe just a section on a horizontal line and say this is a new section with a photo, and I'll add maybe this photo in. It's uploading the image. I post the article. I can say I would like to notify all of my members about this new post. What it actually does, it gives a notification on the platform, but not only that, it actually sends out an email directly to all of your members. So that makes it easy in terms of communicating to all of your members. Of course, you can choose not to notify any of your members if you feel like it's not an information you want to send out. So I'm not going to send it out because it's just my introduction. And there you go. This is the post, and it's just sorted by last activity. And as you can see, this is the About Us section, and I would see when it was posted. I would be able to save the article just in case I am, this is going to be one of the articles that are really important to me. I just want to save it for myself. Or I can also say edit if I would be the actual creator of this post. I would like to show you some more functionality. So let's assume that this page would be from BBW International and not the club level. So let's assume that I want to have a staggered approach and structured approach of coming from international to regional and clubs. So I created here something called regions, and all the topics you can customize and call them differently. I've created regions called Singapore and BBW International. So these can be two very separate sections. And what happens is if I go to Singapore, as you can see, it opens up an entirely new environment. This is my homepage for Singapore and has no impact on the overall network. On the left-hand side, you see on the navigation back to network, which will be basically my mother page. This is where everyone would be landing in. But basically, this is just the Singapore page, and all the Singapore members can interact within this channel separately and make it more relevant for your club. As you can see, what I've created here is a question. So there are also some functionalities to ask a question or start a poll if you would like to have a poll within your club. for a specific topic that you're interested in. Maybe there are some things that you would like to touch upon and have a discussion with your members. And meeting virtually nowadays is so much easier than face to face. This would be an easy way to interact. And because you can manage the notifications, it doesn't automatically send out, the email if you say not notify. So you would keep it within this pod. So in terms of events, let me just go here. I created an event called the Intergenerational Dialogue, which is basically one of the recurring events. And this functionality is very similar to every other platform where you can create events. So basically, what you can say is what type of meeting it is. You would see here, it's an online meeting and it's for Singapore. You have the title and some of the description. You can add, as much information as you want. And what it does, it actually offers as well to create the calendar entry for you, or you can also go just to the Facebook event. So in case you still want to maintain your Facebook page, you can link those two things up and then it would be integrated into that. What it features as well is the RVSP functionality, whether someone is going or not, and some commenting section. So this shouldn't be new to you, but just to show the functionality. What is actually really nice in terms of the events, and I'm just going back to the overall network. And this is the main benefit of having Mighty Networks potentially for the international organization. Is so if I go to events, and let's say I would have 10 more events coming up internationally in Singapore. I'm also a member in Switzerland, so I might be even subscribing into Switzerland and European events. What I can do is basically I can say what are the upcoming events, what are the past events, and what is nearby. So based on my setting in terms of my location, I would actually see my nearby events only if I want to. I can also manage here as an administrator the content per se, and I can also say everyone can create events if that would be something that you want to do, or you can just say hosts and moderators can create events, and that would limit actually the administration to only for example the executive committee of BPW. Let me just go back on this one. Now you can at any time also take a look at your members. So let me just go quickly in here. You can see all members on the platform itself. So currently we have one member, that's me, and you would see the latest activity, and you can actually search your members. And you can also just take a look at moderators, hosts, and members, and the roles. Roles can be defined. So this is something that would be very helpful if, for example, you want to just interact with executive committees of all the clubs within BPW. You can define roles so that you can basically send notifications and emails to those only. So if you would have something to communicate to other executive committee members, but not members per se, this is a way to do it. I can also go and say, I would like to message all members. And here, whatever I type in, this will be sent as a notification on the platform, but also as an email. So once again, you don't have to go into your inboxes and create, a new message. You can just do everything within here, and you can send a message to all members. What you can do in addition, if you go to overall members, here you can also filter the members that you're interested to see. And I'm just going to select near you. That would be the list of all people in Singapore, for example. And you can also just use the search function to look for a specific person and connect with them online on this platform. Going maybe back to the regions, what's also feasible within the regions is to create more topics. And here I've got, for example, one topic that is about joining, and each of the clubs has a different philosophy, different pricing structure. For example, in Singapore, there are 2 types of memberships, etc. So this makes it a little bit more transparent. And the good thing about diving into here is you can also set up actually a paid membership through the platform. So let's say I would like Singapore to enable the subscription of the yearly membership through this platform. I can do that. So I could basically set up a Stripe account. If you already have that, that's good. Otherwise, you can just create a Stripe account, and then members can directly join within Mighty Networks without me having to, send a physical invoice. Obviously, there are certain clubs where invoicing is still important to have on paper and to send it off, through letters, actual physical letters, and that's still fine. You can still do that. However, what is really valuable here, if you set it up online, is basically once you created that feature, and I haven't created that feature yet because I don't have a Stripe account, but once I would have one, I could set it up. I could directly make sure that whoever is interested to join BBW can immediately join with this feature. So depending on your club, whether you have, I know of certain clubs that have some almost like an initiation ceremony. For that, maybe it's a little bit difficult, but for Singapore, I can go online in their current homepage and I can select to become a member as of, immediately. And based on that, you can just make that installment. And it just makes it very easier to, people who are just exploring your homepage to actually subscribe. What you can introduce as well are different packages. So let's say you want to introduce maybe a shorter membership for people exploring your club instead of, subscribing to a full year membership. That would be another option. Or if you want to offer courses or trainings or virtual sessions to non-members that are interested to take part of it, you can set up 2 different pricing segments, whereas the non-members would pay maybe a higher price to attend one of the BBW courses. This is normally what we would do, for example, in BBW Switzerland, if we have a workshop that is a paid workshop with a professional, coach and content that is being distributed, then obviously all members will get actually a lower fee to that course than non-members. So, and this is something that you can regulate within here. And you don't have to use, for example, Eventbrite or any other platform that currently offers this functionality. Go back to the network. And let me go to my homepage. Next to this one, I have different other functions just to highlight. I can switch to a list view, which gives a more comprehensive look on all the posts that are available in all the sites. So since this is the overall network homepage, I can see all the activities. if I would, in my profile, select only Singapore, I would only see feeds that are relevant for Singapore and international. So this is the way of keeping everything also still connected within, you know, your local club and the international federation. I do believe that it is important that all of the local clubs and regional associations do make the link to BBW International. The reason why BBW is so valuable as a network is that we are the largest international women's network, and that there is advocacy and, you know, this connection to all the big platforms and the UN. So to really make people aware and the members be able to tap into the overall international network, this would be a good way of managing all of the international, regional, but also the local clubs information. If I would, and just this is a final one, if you would like to have an overall overview of all the members, instead of just using, you know, a database to track your active members, you can also just select those this as a functionality within the members. And basically you would go to manage, and if you're a host, let's say you're the administrator of this page, you can just go to download members and say download member list. So as you can see, member data is including the name, email, location, member category. As I say, you can actually set up categories, and you would also see what kind of topics they follow. So you would have a real, almost like an analytics insight of what people are interested in and where people are active. You can just click on download member list. Again, it just gives you a quick reminder in terms of that you shouldn't share your members' contact information widely. So just, you know, a disclaimer overall. So you got it. And the request has been sent. So what it does, it sends an email to my inbox and sends a link to a downloadable Excel file. And this would be just the easy way of downloading the member list. The same you can do actually for events. So if you would like to have, you know, just an Excel file with all the members who are actually attending an event, and some people, you know, they just like to work on, you know, a printed paper to do the registration at the event itself. You can do that, of course, and just, you know, print out the Excel file. But actually, if you go to the event as such, and let me just go in here, in the event that you have, if this would be a closed section where people have to register, you would always have the full big picture of who's attending online. So you wouldn't need to download the list. Go back home. There are so many more features on Mighty Networks. I've just touched upon the basic ones. There are so many things that one can do. You know, you can do polls, you can do questions, you can have a very interactive section. The question is always, how much interactions do you need for your network, and what kind of channels do you still use? So if you would choose to still be connected on Facebook and to post everything on Facebook, that's fine. This is going to be more the gateway of, first of all, new members, and also other members that are interested to connect with others that they might have not met. So for example, if I would now go, I'll just take an example. If I would go on a business trip to London, and I would like to, you know, meet the members in London, that would be a perfect place to look for. If I would know, you know, the fact that the BBW club in London would have be connected in the Mighty Networks, I could just go in and I could get to know the members before hand before I would do my travel plans. Here on the top, as a last feature, there are some notifications. For example, I've shared a message with Singapore members. That was an hour ago. Or I would also have a chat function. That's a little bit the, again, the question of how interactive you want to make use of this. Again, it comes with a mobile application that you can download as an app on your cell phone. And so if you already have a WhatsApp group within your own club to interact with your members, that's completely fine. What is helpful here is that your entire connection and interaction could be through the platform, and it's just easier to use one platform for all communications instead of using several. And that's basically it on Mighty Networks. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you're trying to explore Mighty Networks for your BBW club as well. We're going to set up a test page for Singapore and see how this goes.
Thanks, Sheerah, for that very thorough presentation of Mighty Networks. And we hope that you as the viewers have enjoyed this and learned from it, and can look over the platform and consider it for your own uses. It seems like it might serve a lot of different BPW uses for us. So we can think about it, and we can continue to learn about this and many other aspects of the digital world as we continue to upgrade our skills and to move more and more toward a digital strategy for BPW. Thanks for listening, and we hope that you'll come back here for more videos soon and join us for our live webinars. Thank you.